Ma'am,
I
Madama. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give you a little rundown of what happened last week, Friday. And just a news, DeSantis drops out of 2024 presidential race, endorses Donald Trump. That's for everybody to be aware of what happens. Estados Unidos. Okay. So it was a home run on Friday. Everything was above 1%. Dow Jones, roughly 1%. S&P 500, a dollar and a quarter percent up. NASDAQ, close to $2 or 2%, sorry. And then Russell 2K, 1% roughly. And the VIX, it was cray negative 5.87%. So when this thing goes like really cray down and woohoo, everything's kind of in the green. Pre-market for tomorrow, things are looking very not super strong, but on the uptrend again. A momentum on the upside, or the bull market. They're trying to feed that, getting people really hyped up, past the all-time highs kind of thing. So yeah, that's for tomorrow. Oil is down, and the 10-year is down, 10-year. So as the summary has said, things were mostly green or very green on Friday. And the winner was Wayfair, which I'm not happy about. AMD, about 8%. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, for the last 5 days or so, the chips have been very strong. And even in the post market on Friday, it was continuing its momentum. There's no stopping this at the moment until something breaks. So yeah, if you got it Friday and wrote it on the long side, you have done very well. In terms of like I said, the momentum of the chips with Nvidia and AMD leading the charge is surpassing all-time highs. It rejected this level. I mean, it didn't reject it, it broke out of it. Clearly, this was 160, so now is at 175. Let's see if it gets to 180, which I don't see why it wouldn't. And then it could be testing the 190 and 200s, and that's when it's going to start to getting too expensive for people, I think. But for the moment, all the trends, and the trend is your friend, is leading up to the sky. Be careful. I'm not saying don't get it, but if you are going to get it and ride it to the top, just get out the same day, even if you jump back in the next day, because things, when they're a little too extreme, can be pulled right off the bridge. So yeah, things are looking up. Open went up 5%. It's still on the cups up of 3. I don't see why this would go up to the sky. The trend obviously is down. I have some crazy order at 355 if it does like a stupid wick up. But if it gets to 337 or 340, or it fills this gap, I don't see why people shouldn't get into it, which is why I have this order here. But the trend is going down. And I would not be surprised if it get at some point to $2. So yeah, my average price right now is roughly 3. Let's see if it keeps going. But it did do a big
what
jump, yeah.
what gap are you talking about? You said if it
Right
fills.
here, this
Okay.
gap. There's a little mini gap as well there, which I already filled it. Carvana went up. Not happy about that, which made my PL went bad, but we'll not talk about that. All right, so here's NVDA. NVIDIA is the monster or the baby of the year, 2023, and starting to be 2024 baby as well. As you can see from this historical graph, it's in the ultimate highs as well as in AMD. Again, I don't see why it wouldn't get to 600 tomorrow. Um, and it's almost guaranteed it's going to get to 600 tomorrow. It could do a little, push back a little bit, but things are being pushed up very, very aggressively at the moment. The bulls are like, and I could see it getting to 650 or even 700. But again, ride it up, get out, ride it up until it turns on you. Just try to do a day trade on this because this is very dangerous territory. But yeah, clearly the momentum is up. Lucid, it's on hard buy. It had a little pop. And when I say little, I mean really little because you can see that this thing is just ridiculous. Anytime you see a pop on this, just short it. It's going to the Gutterville and bye-bye Lucid. Intel, somebody's favorito, had a great day on Friday. Again, it's similar. The chips are your friend. This thing historically is not at the all-time highs, but from the last 2 years, this is the all-time highs. So I could see it going back to 50 and surpassing it and getting here. I don't think it could get past 60 if everything breaks down, but it could. But just be careful. Like I said, it likes to bounce around in this area. 49.
Eventually, this thing is going to be past 70.
Yes. Um, I don't see why we're surpass these levels here. But again, the same thing. It's beating a dead horse. But yeah, just be careful with the market. But it's not the all-time high, but this trend is clearly up. You can even mostly bet on it will get to 55 for the time being. Okay, EBC. Ooh, 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 ooh.
When you had Intel, what was your average price?
55.
Okay, so that's what you're talking about, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 55. I had it at 55 and sold it. Um, I sold it, but not all at once. I sold it every time I made a little dinero. Um, so this thing is, reversing a little bit here. Is above the 50, is above the 200. Um, I I'm s- I could still be kind of convinced, depending on how the market is going, that it could reach up to the 16 level. And then you can short it. You can even write it up there and then short it. We like the price around 12 or 10. If you're looking to buy it cheap, just wait. If not, like we said, we recommend um, you know, do a day trade on this. But right now, at least for the last couple of weeks, the trend has been going down. But this overall trend is kind of going up. So be careful. The banks are not the greatest, the chips are. Meta. This thing is a beast. It's a beast, 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 beast. Somebody was on the side of shorting this forever, but I think now you have a case. It's basically not ultimate highs, but yes, almost. It hasn't surpassed it yet. Um, I don't see why it wouldn't get to 390 or 400 soon. Be careful. Again, do the same thing with the chips. And the momentum is very strong up. They're trying to get people to get this to be pushed higher and higher until they pull the rug. Um, but yeah, the trend is clearly up. The trend is your friend. We like to at some point short Meta. Somebody would is always have been harping on Meta. Here's another magnificent seven, Mr. Google or Google, as someone likes to call it, which is actually has a meaning that is in the second branch or something of alphabet. So yeah, same story here. Not at the ultimate highs, Here's the ultimate high, 150, 151 or so, 146. I don't see why this would not get here. Everything else has been doing the same thing, including NVDA and AMD. Just wait for it, and your trend is your friend. McDonald's, I knew it would get to 300 as I had predicted. It loves that area. And man, if you were on this on Friday, damn, well, I don't even know why we don't even get on this just for a day. It's it's redunculous. Here it is. It's back to its old lovely ways. It did a V. Um, 300 is the place to be for this. It loves this area. I can just see it hover a little bit, go back down and just stay here for a minute. And if it pushes up, maybe I would say 325. But again, we shall see. McDonald doesn't disappoint. This thing has so much history. Forget about it. Dickies, Dickety Dick Dick Dicks. Um, okay, so interesting. Now it has gone down and picked back up with the momentum of the market. It loves this area, 150, 150, 50, yeah, 150, 155 or so. It likes to reject it, and it has rejected many, many times. So it's bound for a breakout or a rejection. Time will tell, but you should be prepared that it could do a breakout because it has touched this 1, 2, 3, close to 4 times. If it gets here, it's gonna break up to 160 with the momentum of the market. So let's see what the retailers have to say. ASML, I'm gonna skip. Freshpet, I'm gonna skip. I'm disappointed in it. It went up, but it's the momentum of the market. Bank of America, 32.21. That's the last price. It's picking up back up a little bit, but it's still, it hasn't been doing well lately. It did well on Friday as everything else, still above the 50, still above the 200. Let's see if it breaks this 50 period and goes down. Then we can start saying that the banks are going to be really weak. There are a lot of delinquencies and credit card issues, so that are being reported. So we shall see. Manzana.
Maybe check V.
We'll check V in a
V1.
second. Yeah, V is interesting. I'll check it right now after this. So, yep, here's good old manzana for you, the fresh apple of the day. So, if if we would have listened to ourselves when this was down, we could have Enrico, but we didn't listen to ourselves. And basically, Apple went down a lot, and now it picked back up, jumped to the sky, and now it's filling up this gap. And I truly see, because of everything else, that it's going to get back to this area or to 200 before it gets rejected. So yeah, it's bull all the way right now for Manzana. Let's take a look at the minute chart for you. And here it is. Here it is for you, loud and clear. No stopping this baby. Here's at the 15-minute level. Basically, if you got it one here, this would have been the great price to get it at 180, and you would have just kept it for a couple of days, and you would have been fine. Got a little change in your pocket. Let's look at Dashi. Uber and Dashi have been really, really strong. This is momentum up as well. Let me look at where did my daily go? I don't think this is the ultimate high for Dashi, but it's up there. I think it's at the 52-week high at the moment. So that's something to note. If this thing would load. All right, enough about Dashi. Let's look at Visa. It's pissing me off, Dash. Okay, so here's Visa, 52-week high, and also all-time high, I believe. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at that. Correct. So this is the 52-week high and also all-time highs. And this is a very good important point to take a look, because some people are just going to get some profit. If somebody bought it here, or if somebody has been holding it for a long time, since 2020, let's say, a couple of years, they're going to get some profit. But mostly people who got it here um, are going to get out at some point. So keep that in mind. We may want to put this on the notes, because also was reading there's some high delinquency. After the holidays, people are going to be like, oh my God, I have to pay my credit card. And, some people don't pay. They got the credit card hangover, as I was reading this morning on a article. They have too many bills piled up and they can't make their minimum debt payment for credit cards because they overdid it on the Christmas gifts. Exaggeration. Okay, so here's Amazoni, as we like to call it. All right, so the same thing, the same V that we've been looking at from the Magnificent Seven. Lows here, this was a clearance sale if you got it here. From 80 to 155, that's a good chunk of change for you. It's been, stepping up. We like this area to see if it gets here. I don't see why not again. The momentum is really up with these Magnificent Seven. It really likes this area here. So this 170 area, it's a really great area of support / resistance. So it's getting to that, it's going to get to that top soon. It's Amazon. But, people are not going to be buying. You have to keep that in mind, that people are not going to be buying crazy gifts like they did in December and November. So that's something to take a note on. Nike, our friend Nike, hasn't been doing well. We hope that it turns around. But the trend, this gap down is very not great, because when it gaps down like this, it does do a little bit down before it picks up. We don't want it to fill this gap for sure. So hopefully it does do a turnaround, but not looking great at the moment. We'll see if the momentum of the other in the market brings it back up. Softy, Microsoft. Again, this thing is stronger than Apple, stronger than Amazon, stronger than Google. This has the highest market cap of the Magnificent Seven. And it did a breakout at 380, or this 375 area. This 375 area is what it broke out of. This was a high, but basically it created an area of support between 375, 380. Yeah, it will get to 400 tomorrow. It almost did on Friday. It will definitely get to 400. Maybe you'll create a little rejection there, 400. But like I said, you have to watch it and keep your eyes and your trails or limits very close to get out, because when the rug is pulled, like we said, it will get pulled. But for the time being, let's not worry about the rug being pulled. Just go with the trend and go up. But it is very expensive, a very expensive stock, and most things are expensive at the top. So, we don't recommend that you buy it and keep it for long. We recommended that you buy it and just take your money and run. But yeah, Target, I'm gonna skip. Target, Starbucks, we don't really trade this. Let's take a look at Target just to see how it looks on a daily chart. It's just been stepping up, and then it did a little step down, but this trend is upward. Overall, it's just been micro mini and stepping up. So, but compared to how it was, it's still not the greatest. 160. This was the place to buy it, 120. And even, of course, down here was the best place to get it. This is the area that we had identified. It went down, but you can see that from here it broke out. So even if you got it here, you would have done a decent because it's still going semi up. But yeah, it created an area of support around this 110. So that's a future area or buyer zone. Chewy, gonna skip Taco Coin. This has been trending down. Ethereum has been trending up. This is why you can't just be listening to them jokers. And when things get hyped up so much, this is what they like to do to you. They get you all hype up and they say, hey, this thing is going to continue to go to the moon. People jump on this and then they make you fall. So be
I
careful.
paid for that mistake.
And this is the hype, and this is why it's good to just get out every day and start fresh, because you start fresh and you can just, get in it on the other side.
I would like to ask a favor that if you could reserve for 4 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, because I wanted to show a quick excerpt from a video at the end that I think you
Okay,
may.
so I'm almost done.
No, no,
Netflix.
no. Take your time. I just wanted to interrupt just so you know ahead of time that I'm making it.
I'm almost done, ma'am.
If
I'm
you
not
don't
gonna look.
have time, that's fine.
Piton did well. American went down 1361. I like it around the 12 range, but we'll see. Save did great. Aftermarket, we were waiting for this all day. And like a biz notch, it tricked people. I got out because I got out of here. I didn't lose that much money. I just lost like 20 bucks. Then it went down. And then, of course, it picked back up like a biz notch that it was. But yes, congratulations to those that made dinero in the post market waiting for it, because it tricked people in the pre and in the post. So you got it. Good for you. High five. Um, you may take over. I do have some financial statements things, but we can leave it for next time, or I can take a little bit of your time in your next video. Madame, go ahead.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, you can continue. I was going to read a little excerpt from the financial statements, but I can use a little bit of your time next time too.
Read your financial statements.
Okay. I'm just going to read one paragraph. It's a short. So as I had said before, there are 12 basic principles for accountants. Accountants have some basic rules and assumptions upon which rests all of their work in preparing financial statements. Account entity, going concern, measurement, units of measure, historical cost, materiality, estimates and judgments, consistency, conservatism, periodicity, substance over form, accrual basis of presentation. These rules and assumptions define and qualify all of the accountants to do in all that financial reporting reports. We will deal with each in turn. So number one, accounting entity. That's the only one I'm going to read tonight. The accounting entity is the business unit, regardless of the legal business form for which the financial statements are being prepared. The accounting entity principle states that there is a business entity separate from its owners, a fictional person called a company for which the books are written. That's the first thing. Tomorrow or in the next couple of tiempos, I'm going to read the other 11 paragraphs of the basic principles of accounting. That's it for now. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thanks for giving me. You gave me more than enough time. But I just wanted to show you this really quick. So this is a quick video. And we're just gonna play the first couple minutes. But based on something that you had shown earlier, I thought this would be a good thing to play. All right, so the title of the video is "Hearses Being Forced to Sell Their Cars," and you can get
a hell of a deal.
And I thought it was kind of funny. All right, here we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if you're dumb enough to buy a Tesla, you might want to buy one from Hertz, right? They're selling them now. The ones that they rented out, now they're selling them. And you can get them as low as 14 grand if they get the tax incentive. Realize back in 2021, Hertz got a whole bunch
Stop
of
for
these
the
things. They
pause.
purchased.
I said that price. I said 14 between $15,000. Remember?
I don't remember, but I saw this. We're a subscriber to this guy. He's from Rhode Island. He moved to Texas. Now he's back in Rhode Island with his daughter. And he's the mechanic that talks about best cars to buy and all this kind of stuff. Wilbur turned me on to him. Hi.
And if they get the tax incentive, realize back in 2021, Hertz bought a whole bunch of these things. They purchased 100,000 Teslas, right? And they want to sell them. Let me tell you something. Take my advice. Don't buy one. People wreck the heck out of electric vehicles, right? And fixing these things is no cheap affair. My advice is don't buy one. Doesn't matter how low the price is, it's not a wise investment in most cases. Hertz has them on their website. You can buy them directly from them. Realize there's a tax credit for used Teslas, new, not just new ones.
Awesome.
So with the tax credit, you can get one as low as $14,000. So it's not like they're that expensive, but be forewarned, those babies are super expensive to repair. And one of the last things most people want to buy is a rental car that's been rented by people who drive like absolute maniacs. And to top it all off, very few guys know how to check out Teslas. There's plenty of mechanics like me out there that can check out a used gasoline or diesel car. They know all the ins and outs, but not for electric cars. So it's going to get hard to get them checked out anyways. And with the way that Hertz and those companies work, they don't generally allow mechanics to check them out. They're like, well, you buy it, and then have the guy check it out. Yeah, that's a great way to buy a car, right? Putting a cart in front of the horse instead of the horse pulling the cart. You're ready, own it. What good is it going to do if somebody checks out that? If you can even find somebody who knows how to check them out. Well, it looks like Toyota was right in not building their own sports cars.
So he goes on to his whole mantra, but it's yeah, it's that little excerpt just made me think of your video where you're talking about with the Teslas. What we've always been saying about the Teslas from the beginning. I don't put too much stress on the Teslas because to me it's kind of obvious why you wouldn't want to get it or any really a purely electric car. But
I would not get an electric car. I would get some sort of hybrid type of thing. And like I said, this is an excellent video.
But if you live in
And
the mountains in Arizona or
you
something,
can give it to me for $5,000. You can give it to me for free. I don't want that.
that 14K I thought was a little steep. I was thinking like 5K.
I had said 15K when I told you last. I said they're gonna be giving them out to 15K for now. Watch, they're not gonna be 60K, that's for sure. They're gonna be around that price, $15,000.
The question is, when would you buy it? Like, let's say between a 60 to 80K vehicle. At what price would you say, oh, it's a good deal for me to get a Tesla?
If you live in California,
No,
the desert, or if you live in Florida,
I'm talking.
I think if you get it for 10K, that's good.
What about you?
I wouldn't get it.
Not even if it was 5K?
To sell it. Like I would get it for 5K and then sell it for 10K.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I would get it as an investment, like, oh, here, oh, this Tesla's
like as a business opportunity.
Yes, I would get it as a business opportunity, and I wouldn't, sell it to some joker who thinks this thing is like, the best thing since sliced bread, and I would sell it for 10K and make my money back. That's what I would do. But me personally, I would not buy it to drive it, if that's your question.
That was my question, but I do like the business opportunity angle. Because
yeah, so that's you have to look at it like that. Let's say they sell it for you for 5K, then yeah, I would definitely get it and then be like, oh, let me sell this for 10K or even 12K. and make my money back.
All right, so we have 10 minutes left. So I'm hoping you have your phone with you because I want you to take a picture of the one note that I have here.
Why would I just take a picture? I'm gonna write it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just don't have my phone, so that's and I don't have
I will write the notes.
or lapis.
Like I said, the only way that I would get a Tesla is as a business opportunity to invest it and sell it to the market. I think that's what everybody should do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my friend, I will give you back 10 minutos. You should try to go to bed at 10 because you had said this was gonna be your new
Yes. So far, I'm
PM
on point. I'm on schedule for my thing.
Great. I won't take up more of your time because I do want you to be on schedule. So I
and
will let you have a great evening.
I'll see you in the morning
Yes,
after
you
I'm
will.
gonna post this thing. Drink some of my tea, and I'm out 5,000.
You betcha, my friend. And muchas gracias por el video. And muchas gracias for being my friend. Thank you.
Same thing here.
Peace out.
I hope you enjoy your Sunday.
Likewise. Adios, amiga.
Peace out.